Hello, race fans. Welcome to another episode of Short Track Guys Podcast, brought to you in part by Story Bleich Roofing. We've got you covered. Metal, slate, tile, asphalt, and shingle. They're locals you can trust. Story Bleich Roofing in Pensacola, Florida. I'm your host, Thomas Faddish, alongside two other short track guys in the studio as always. Jim Pokrant, driver of the 07 CampQuitFishing.com Sportsman and 2021 Sportsman Champion, and Ted Baber of Ted Baber Video Productions. What's up, guys?
Greetings.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, this Wednesday podcast, episode 8, I think, season 3. We are really empty as far as our weekend in the backyard at Five Flags and Mobile. We did have, however, some pro late model races, and one we're going to get to just after that in Virginia that we've been preaching on, and we finally got some results there with that one. Yeah. Montgomery Motor Speedway, the Fall Brawl 100 we touched on last week. We have some results with a duplicate winner. He's won 4 times in that 18 car with Ronnie Sanders. Hunter Robbins, man. What can you say? That boy's just put a spank on.
Hey, he's got it wired.
He's won a couple at Five Flags this year, too. So, I mean, the man is on a mission.
Yeah, he can do it.
Yeah, Hunter Robbins, Gavin Graham, Christopher Tullis, Hudson Bulger, and Connor Zilich in that ACR car. But Christopher Tullis, the number 12, ends up coming away with the Show Me the Money title for the 3rd time in 4 years.
Yeah.
Good deal there. Congratulations to him and his team, man. They're a hard-working bunch, man. They're a low-dollar bunch. They don't have the money that they're running against, and to win 3 of the last 4, that's pretty sporty. Congratulations to those guys.
Yeah, there's a couple that we know of. John Bolin from Jasper, Alabama, didn't have the finish he expected in that 2 car. He had performed well prior to that here in Five Flag Speedway. Comes away with a 9th place finish. Intense, Jolynn Wilkinson, we haven't heard so much from her. She's been running pretty much that whole series up there in Montgomery. She comes away in 10th. Stephen Chun running 12th. There's a name there that there are 18 pro late models in that race, and 17th, Wayne Willard. We haven't heard that name in a long time.
No.
Wow, that's a blast from the past. That guy's won a lot of late model races. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
He might just come out of retirement to have some fun. Why not?
Got a little rust on,
He got to knock the rust off. But I mean, hey, that dude was he was very essential in the Hooters Pro Cup series also.
You'll see Johnny Aramandia, a 15th place finish. So it's good for him. He comes out of the modified ranks. We've seen him here a lot.
Great state of Texas.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, representing.
Yes,
They're representing the great state of Texas.
Yeah, the pro late models. There was a race. The Grand National Super Series has been preaching on that several episodes, and we've been trying to catch up a little bit of an action, and we've got some results there in a race course up there in Virginia.
Up in Virginia, it was the Jeff Hendrickson Memorial Twin 50s. And so it was an exciting installment in the Grand National Super Series, with a little bit of a twist. It's called the Jeff Hendrickson Memorial because of Jeff Hendrickson was a driver that spent a lot of time and did a lot of racing up there. And the twist is that in practice, Cody Dennison spun, and A.J. Hendrickson, who is Jeff's brother, got caught up in the wreck, and his car was destroyed, and it looked like he didn't have a car to run, but Bob Schacht offered his car up to replace it. And Jeff got out there, or rather AJ got out there, and didn't have the best first race, but he he spanked him in the second. He did not lead one of the 50 laps in that second race, so he was on a mission to try to get a win to honor his brother. It was a tremendous showing, a great race, I'm sure.
Yep.
And there's since there's 2 races, let's just go over all the results. Race 1 was Jake Christman, Jason Kitchmiller, J.J. Pack, A.J. Hendrickson in 4th, Brent Nelson, Donnie Doster, Hayden Brothers, Dusty Silvers, Brian Sosby in the Mopar Mafia car. Just got to throw that out there.
Mopar Mafia, that's cool.
That's a great one there. And then Larry Wilcox, Jason McDowell, Kevin Cromer, Mike Kirk, Jeremy Mayfield. He had some mechanical difficulties. Cody Dennison and Joe Wilder in the first race. And the second one, with a few incidents, it kind of limited the finishing order a little bit. But then, as I mentioned, A.J. Hendrickson won it. Jason Kitchmiller second. Kevin Cromer third. Brent Nelson, J.J. Pack, Hayden Brothers, Jeremy Mayfield got in there and mixed it up with him for a little while. Larry Wilcox, Joe Wilder, Dusty Silvers, and Donnie Doster. And their next event, and we run back up, is going to be October 14th at the Carteret County Speedway.
You know, I wonder if that Sosby is related to the late NASCAR driver Gober Sosby.
I don't know.
My dad told me a story about him one time. Sonny Black they were racing together and Gober wrecked him. And Sonny got in the car and was going to go down there and put a mud stomping on him. And when he did, he got down there and the owner of the car already had him upside the head with a tire iron and was beating the crud out of him.
Wow.
Yeah, that was back in the day. But I wonder if they're related. Sosby is not a very common name.
It
So
is not.
could very well could be. I mean, Gober Sosby was. I mean, you look him up in the NASCAR history books. He won a couple of NASCAR races back in the 40s.
Yeah. After that race, they've only got one more left, and that's going to be their the GNSS All-Star race, the 3rd and 4th of November at the Rockingham Speedway.
That'd be cool to see. I'd like to see them get it on the rocks. Just been repaved too, so it's going to be a lot faster. So, and those cars are cars that have probably run on the rock before. Some of them have because they're older Cup cars. So that ought to be very interesting.
It's going to be a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can roll on from, well, you say the rock, and everybody refers to that as Rockingham, and the pavement's going to be, I mean, unbelievable there with racing in the future with a new surface. North Wilkesboro Speedway is another one of those classics with the NASCAR Wayland Modified Series in the Brushy Mountain Power Sports 150. Matt Hirschman bested the field, and I'm telling you, you want to talk about a field, there was plenty of them with Ron Silk, Justin Bonsignor, Eric Goodell, Patrick Emmerling, Ryan Newman, Doug Covey, Kyle Ebersol, Bobby Santos, and the likes. The list keeps going on and on. We'd be here for quite a while, but there were more than 30 modifieds and plenty of pileups. But Matt Hirschman ended up getting that job done, and that's a pretty big win for that. That race right there is big at North Wilkesboro.
Oh yeah, and I guess the new you go to Nashville and you win, you get a guitar, and you win at Martinsville and you get a clock. I guess the still is the new thing at North Wilkesboro, which I think is super cool. Yeah. How cool is that to put on your trophy shelf?
Yeah, right on.
And especially Matt Hirschman, because he has been kicking behind in those modifieds this year. I think he won just about everything there was to win down in New Smyrna this year. He's been just kicking their butt all year long. I don't know what that 60 car found, but son.
Yeah, looks like he won 0.564 seconds was the difference between Matt Hirschman and Ron Silk. So that tells you the distance if you know the speed and what it is, a half a second. So that's a pretty big distance between those two.
Yeah. That's a butt kicking. I'm telling you, he's done it a bunch this year. And like I said, I just think that's the coolest trophy ever. I mean, Bubba Pollard's got one, so I think that's awesome. And congratulations to Matt Hirschman and his team. But they're just the team to beat this year.
You're kind of like Cody Stickler here in our
our modifieds. Yeah, no kidding. That dude, when he shows up, it was a couple of races last year that they penalized him and sent him to the rear about 8 cars, and like lap 5, he was leading by a straightaway. I mean, just. He's like, he knows the way around 5 flags in a modified.
He's got it figured out. No doubt about that.
He does.
Well, the 2023 ASA Stars National Tour schedule, I know, is coming down to the last little bit here on October 15th. I know it's a little early, but we're going to touch a little bit on it because it is one of the big marquee races of the year. Everybody wants to walk away with. November 5th will be Nashville Fairgrounds, the All-American 400. This one's the Winchester 400 coming up on the 15th of October. If anybody knows Winchester in Indiana, that track is a kind of a beast to get around and hard to figure out with the likes of Jake Garcia and Stephen Nassy. And we're hoping to see Bubba Pollard's name on that list. That's going to come up on the 15th, but we thought we'd just kind of throw that out there for now. That's going to be a big one. We're going to pay attention to for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Jake Garcia's got some fun coming up too. I think he's trying to secure his truck ride as well.
I believe that's correct. Yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
He's got a couple of dates set up already.
Wow, that's cool. That young man, watching him at 5 Flags, he's pretty tough from up there in Dawsonville, Georgia. He's another one from that area between Chase Elliott and Bill Elliott. And now you got Jake Garcia. That's pretty awesome.
Yep. Yeah, the 52nd running of the Winchester 400, total cash purse of that is $104,000.
Yeah,
plus
that's a lot of
contingencies, and if our listeners know the contingencies, They usually have stickers on the side, and if you're wondering sometimes with those stickers why they're there and why they're in place in certain areas, those are part of the contingencies. If you finish in top 3 or top 5, those stickers that you have on the car pay a little bonuses for that kind of effort.
Yeah, and the thing is, it could be product, it could be cash. A lot of it's product.
Yeah.
Like you run a 5-star body, and 5-star will give you a free body, or Bassett wheel, or there's all kinds of stuff like that they get every year, and I applaud them for doing that, and I wish our track would do the same thing. Money's great, but if we could get gift certificates for equipment, that would help out. Wheels especially, because I've bent probably 4 wheels this year, and it'd be nice to get a certificate for a couple of wheels, if you win a race and here's my other thing. I'm going to go on a little rant here for just a second, and this is for all the local tracks. And John Dykes used to do this, and I don't know why they don't do it. Do this to your local guys. Have a guy that has a bad night. Give him a gift certificate or something. Give him a pit pass. Yeah. Do something for him. Don't just give him $100 and kick him out the door when he had a wreck or something happened. Or, Eddie did this. He had people sponsor, okay, I'm going to put $100 extra on whoever finishes 12th.
Yeah.
That gives that man a few extra dollars. Because I know in Mobile this year, I did it once. That was a nice surprise, a few extra bucks to get you there and back. If tracks would do that, it would help a little. Because when you don't show any love to the guys that run in the back, the guys that show up and are there every week, regardless of whether they get their butts kicked or not, they're there to race and they're there to have fun. And that goes into another thing about people just not wanting to race for fun. People want to take this. I want to win every time I go on a racetrack. Don't get me wrong. And we've had some bad couple races. This last season has really been awful. We can't find my butt with both hands with that car. But, I still have fun. I want to be with my friends. I want to go out to the racetrack. I want to hang out with you guys. I want to have a few beers afterwards. I want to enjoy the night, being around the fans and the people. It's not so much whether you win or lose. It's to have fun. We're never going to NASCAR. It's not like, I'm all of a sudden getting a call from Rick Hendrick next week to come drive the 24 car. It's never going to happen.
Probably not.
No. Or even to drive a late model. It's not going to happen. So, folks, remember when you're in a racetrack and you're out there, have fun. Enjoy it. Don't sit around and gripe and moan and complain every time you're there. Because if you are, you drag everybody's fun down. Don't do that. Let's go have some fun. Let's enjoy the racing. And promoters, start doing some contingency stuff. These companies want to sell product. And if you give me a Bassett wheel, and it doesn't match the wheels I have, that gives me incentive to go out and buy some more Bassett wheels. You know what I mean? It's an incentive. Give the guy 5 gallons of fuel. The guy had a bad night. Hey man, here's a certificate for 5 gallons for the next race. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just look out for your drivers. It doesn't matter if the guy tows an old beat up truck and an old beat up trailer. He's there to have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps. Every little bit helps.
It does. It does. And promoters have forgotten the little guys.
Yeah. Well, with the contingencies there at the Winchester, potential $34,500 payday makes the Winchester 400 one of the richest pavement late model events of the year. Now, with that being said, the word gets out and everybody says, oh, wow, one of the richest of the event. The most prestigious is in our backyard. So there may be a little competition here in the future before the Snowball Derby, and we don't know yet, but, you never know.
Well, the Snowball this year is worth a bunch more money than it's been ever. When you listen to a podcast like Door Bumper Clear and they talk about Pensacola, Florida, and how great of a facility it is and how wonderful the Snowball Derby is, that's cool. And these guys are NASCAR guys, and they're talking about a little old short track in Northwest Florida.
Showing us a little love there.
Yeah, that's great. Of course, they kind of badmouth Nicholas, and I kind of got a chuckle out of that. But that's an inside joke, or not an outside joke, or you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, that's awesome to hear our track mentioned. The Snowball Derby gets mentioned all over the place. It's the most prestigious short track race in America. I'm going to say that. I'm prejudiced because it's my home back track.
Everybody knows where you're going to be in the first week of December. That's just it.
That's it. And back in the day when guys made money racing late models, that was a big money race.
Yeah, and we can jump right in just to throw that out. It is early, but it's going to be here and gone before we know it. And then, we'll be doing an episode talking about what happened. So November 17th really starts downtown at Seville Quarter. It is the Miss Snowball Derby pageant on the 17th, downtown Pensacola. Historic. downtown Pensacola. For more information on that, I would do snowballderby.com and get in touch with the staff out there. They will go over who to contact and all the details into that. That will be November 17th. Now, November 18th, the Saturday night, the Snowball Derby preview for all divisions, which is going to be one of the most affordable nights of the Derby week. And it actually kicks it off as far as the racing goes with the Crown stocks, with the Super Late models, the Pro Late models, Outlaws, Modifieds, the Mayhem Tour. They're all practicing, but the Crown stocks get to run and showcase their talent for 30 laps. And boy, oh boy.
Yeah, it should be fun.
Yeah, get your popcorn ready for sure.
Oh, that one's going to be rough.
Yeah.
There's going to be a bunch of cautions in that one. I got a good feeling because everybody's going to want to win the first Snowball Derby Crown stock race. You forgot Sportsman and Pure Stock, by the way. We'll be practicing also. But it's a fun day. Come out, hang out, watch some cars go around. I think the grandstands are free. I don't know what the race is. But it's going to be a heck of a show. And then they're going to do the Invitational on Saturday at the Derby.
Yeah.
Top 12 in the race get to come run the Invitational. So that's going to be cool too. And the Crown Stocks will get actually 2 races, which I think is going to be awesome. It's kind of exhibition race for the Snowball Derby. But next year they've already said they will be included. So awesome to them. Great show. They'll put on one heck of a race. I'm telling you, it's going to be a blast to watch. I'm going to practice my car, and when I put mine back on a trailer and strap it down, I'm going to sit on the toolbox of my truck and watch some cars go around because it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think they promote that as the only practice that actually pays money. So,
Yeah. Well, they do that, where they pay you for the fastest lap, but you got to buy 4 tires.
Well,
you're going to spend $700 to win 200. I'm not doing that. Sorry. I'm going to save my tire money for the actual race, so... But who we got signed up so far, Thomas, for the big show?
Well, we do have some early entries for the Snowball Derby,
really early.
Really early.
We know we can do the done.
Yeah.
We can do it early
Twice.
Yeah, Albert Francis from Paynesville, Ohio. Bubba Pollard
twice.
Yeah,
he didn't run the Snowflake last year, so I'm wondering if he's going to run his own car or what he's going to do. So that's big.
Yeah.
I like that he's signed in already.
Yeah, he's pretty much run both of them. He's won, I don't know, 2 or 3 Snowflakes on Saturday night, but has not captured the Tom Dawson Trophy, which might be this year. We're going to have to wait and see. And Derek Griffith from Hudson, New Hampshire, yes. There's a Derek Griffin that's locally here, out of Mobile.
Yeah. Griffin and Griffith.
Griffith. This is Derek Griffith from Hudson, New Hampshire.
And a heck of a young wheelman himself right there, son.
Yeah.
He's won a lot of big races himself, so that's pretty big. I see we got a Canadian driver there.
You from Canada, that you are?
You're coming from Canada there.
Yeah, Jared Butcher from Porter's Lake, Nova Scotia. Will be a Snowflake entry, and Jason Vale from Claremont, Florida, is another
407 car.
Yeah.
Early entry for the Snowflake, and those will be pouring in from here on out. So that entry list it is really, really early.
Updates to follow.
Updates to follow, correct.
Jason Vale he's a top-notch outlaw driver too.
Yeah, he's in that 407 car there in the Outlaws as well.
So he's been running. He's stepped up. He's got the money, so he stepped up. That's good to see.
Yeah, I'd like to see what his results are going to be. He's familiar. He's been there a bunch.
Well, he finished the race in Mobile in like second or third. Yeah. The last Pro Late Model race in Mobile, of course, the attrition was mega high in that race. Yeah. Good gosh. But, he did very well in Pensacola. He drove and finished that whole race without putting a scratch on the car. So, hey, that's big.
And he'll have some tires under the car this time, too.
Yeah, have some tires this time. So, good deal. I'm looking forward to see who shows up because, the baddest late model driver in the country is already entered. So,
yep. And then we get to watch all the pain and agony Friday night in qualifying.
Oh, that's always fun. Oh my God, Friday night. I always get in the infield and I find me a spot right in front of that big screen. Yeah. And we watch. Me and my spotter Zach Morris stood there last year and watched the whole qualifying. And it's just the nerve, okay, he's out. Oh, he's in. He's out. He's in. He's out. Is he going to make it? No. Oh.
I've got a perch where I can watch the reactions. It's just awesome.
I bet.
Well, at least for the guys who are not on the bubble anymore. Everybody else,
Yeah, especially when there's like 2 cars to go and there's 1 car in a bubble and he's sitting there just sweating.
Ding, 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 ding,
see
ding,
the
ding.
sweat just pouring off him. Please, please, please.
Well, the ones that hurt are the ones that don't even get to park. They just have to drive straight through.
Oh, that sucks. And it's like, bye-bye.
Sorry.
Yep.
Well, the busy weekend will continue. One is at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park with the 61st Sunoco World Series of Speedway Racing. The 6th, 7th, and 8th of October. They have 15 divisions. Now, you talk about Southern.
Lord.
Southern Raceway is a 3/8 dirt mile track here, just about 30 minutes or so driving time from us here in Pensacola. And they usually run about 8 or 9, I would say, on average.
Yep.
6, 7, 8, 9 classes. This race, not on a weekly basis, but this event, the Sunoco World Series, has 15 divisions.
Good God.
Going to race over that track over the course of 3 days. The street stocks, late models, Sunoco modifieds, and the Star Vintage modifieds, among others, will highlight that weekend. And that's going to be the 6th, 7th, and 8th this weekend in October at Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park up there in Connecticut. And that's if you don't know about Thompson looks like a little bit of a Martinsville. It's a short, long
fast.
half mile.
And it's kind of flat.
Yep, it's fast.
Yeah.
I tell you what, those Stars Vintage Modifieds, have you ever seen those?
Okay.
They're cool, man. They're the old coupes and the cars from years past.
Right.
Man, they're neat. They're really neat to see because you get a glimpse into the past of what those guys used to race. It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's like the vintage cars we used to run here.
Yeah, well, the vintage cars here, those are actual old cars, the whole deal. Our vintage cars were just a fiberglass body over a metric chassis, which I want to feature in, by the way. But those cars are neat. But I think the vintage classes like that, they've got some vintage dirt racing. It's like that. You take an old car from the dirt and put it out there. So I like that stuff, man. It brings back childhood memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour that we just got through talking about at North Wilkesboro will take a 150-lap event there at the World Series this weekend. I believe that one is on Sunday. But man, 15 divisions, 3 days.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
In the modified race, I will go ahead and put my money on Matt Hirschman.
Do you?
I think the 60 car will get it.
Yep.
Yep. Doug Covey, Ron Silk, Justin Bonsior. I mean, just to throw a few
You never
out
know.
there. Ryan Newman maybe again.
Maybe Jimmy Blewett.
Maybe.
Some of those guys, yeah. And Blewett drives for Tommy Baldwin.
Well,
Tommy Baldwin's fighting cancer right now. It's just, I want to throw that out there and hopefully he gets over this.
well, we'll keep our thoughts and prayers.
Oh yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
They said it was funny when Corey LaJoy wrecked his driver. He said he was standing behind and Victor Lane called him a superstar. You're just a superstar.
Oh boy.
Well, if anybody has been listening, and I'm sure they have, this is week 13 of our Story Bleich Roofing Crown Vic Driver of the Week. The spotlight goes to Caleb Sanford.
Caleb Sanford is a third-generation racer. He started racing Bandoleros in 2014 and Legends cars. He's a 5-time state champion as well as the track champion in Bandoleros and Legends. Moved to Pro Trucks in 2019 at the infamous Mobile International Speedway and Five Flags, finishing second in points each year. His first year in Crown Stocks is 2023, of course, the first year for the division.
Right.
He's running Pensacola and Mobile when he can. He works out of town a lot. I know he works out of town, so it's hard for him to get every race, but he's had several heat wins and feature wins under his belt. But in the Crown Stocks, he runs up front over Mobile. He's had some engine problems the last couple races in Mobile, but he does pretty well. He's sponsored by Mobile Welding, Signal 69 Communications, Mako Fabrication, which anybody doesn't know, that's Eddie Shoemaker's business.
Yes.
And First Choice Towing and Island Motors 2.
I've heard all those guys.
Oh,
there.
yeah, over Mobile. Any of those sponsors right there you've heard before.
Yes.
But he's a great guy, young kid. I've met him before. He's the third generation. I know his dad really well. I've raced against Sandy. I've raced against his dad a few times. Good guy, good family. And, that's our Crown Vic Driver of the Week. Congratulations to him. I told him I'd send a message when this goes out. He was excited. He sent me his bio this week, and that's pretty cool. I mean, we've still got a ton of drivers to go through, and we got a bunch more coming. And I'm hoping at the Derby at this preview, we'll talk to some of the drivers from Ohio. They said there's some, if you listen to last week's episode, Marcus Story said that there was guys coming from Ohio, Indiana.
Wow.
So, I mean, I would love to interview some of those guys and talk to them about it. But I mean, like I said, this is the best class we've had going in a long time. It's growing bigger. They're working on getting the rules right, getting things squared away, and they're at their first snowball derby. There's probably going to be 50 cars here.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to watch those guys try to get around this meat grinder of a racetrack.
Oh, yeah, they're going to qualify, and then they're going to run a last chance race.
Oh, Lord.
It might take a while.
Yeah, we could be there in a minute.
Yeah, I've been in a last chance race that took an hour and 15 minutes, and they finally threw the checkered 5 laps early because what's funny is there's 4 guys that are, I was one of them, we were running away, we were in the show, and the guys that were wrecking were the guys behind us that had no chance of making the race, and they were killing each other's stuff. It's like, guys, stop. Quit. Just finish.
You're done.
Last chance qualifiers are fun to watch, dude. The Derby, all of them. It's
yes. I always get in turn 3, and I'm watching it. Who's going to bump? Who's going to, I think the best one was when Rich Bickle got taken out in the last chance. Both of the him and the car in front of him, or the cars behind him actually, were both in.
Yeah. All he had to do was ride.
Yeah.
And that was that kid that, he's running in the Cup Series, the 42 car, Hocevar.
Yeah.
Caused a wreck. They were 1, 2, 3, 4. They were driving away from everybody. They were in the show. And Hocevar just tries to stick his nose in there and wipes out Harrison Burton and Rich Bickle. And they were in the race.
Yes.
All you got to do is say, go tell the spotter we're just going to ride. We're going to get in line. We're just going to ride. We're going to make the show. There's no sense in going any further. Yep. I mean, passing one car is not going to make any difference at the start of the Derby. And they tore each other up. Bickle was mad.
I was in that turn when that happened to. He was hot. He went after the car was completely torn up. He's going to go out and get him a little revenge.
He tried. He had to back down pit road and drove out on the racetrack. That man's got a set of guns on him for a 60-year-old man. I wouldn't want it because poor old Harrison Burton was like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. But now we got off on a tangent. But the last chance qualifiers are the best. You don't want to be in the transfer spot, somebody on your bumper on that last lap, because I'm going to tell you, if it's me, I'm going to send you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to get in the show.
It's so tough to get in there. You'll work just as hard in that LCQ as you will in trying to win the race.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But you got to get in. If you're going to try to win the big show, you got to get in. I mean, how many drivers have we seen win the Derby coming from the back?
A lot.
A lot. Charlie Bradbury comes to mind. He flew in and started dead last and drove up and won the race.
A lot of people don't know that Eddie Mercer, he started up front, but he went to the back because of difficulties he had, and then he worked his way back up, too.
Yep. Fast Eddie Mercer, and then God rest Charlie Bradbury's soul, is another race car driver that left us too soon.
Yeah.
Young man had a lot of talent.
Yeah.
Well, that was Story Bleich Roofing. Crown Vic Driver Spotlight of the Week, Caleb Sanford from Coden, Alabama. Congratulations, Caleb. Look forward to seeing you at the preview and get that nice-looking 51 car up front.
Rowdy, it says on the back. Well, you recognize the paint scheme.
Yep.
Days of Thunder, Rowdy Burns.
Well, we got one more that is to return. We mentioned this several episodes ago, but I think it got rained out, and this is a return of makeup for Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway, the Bass Tire Family Night. The Bass Tire 100 Pro Late Model event there in Nashville. And every time you hear Nashville, it's like, oh my God, what's going on there at Nashville? Everybody loves the Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. That's going to be a good one. We'll keep that up and get the results of there next Wednesday. With the names we don't have in front of us, we will touch base on that next Wednesday with some of the results of events around. And there's a...
Well, how about Rich Bickle making a return at Rockford, Illinois for the very last short track nationals, which is a shame. That track is closing after this year. It's heartbreaking. The property's worth too much to developers, and they're going to knock it down. But to see him come back and get in a late model and run second, I bet he got thrown out. But to see him drive second, and there's a really cool picture of him getting out of the car and standing on the wall and just reminiscing about that place, because he's won the short track nationals several times. And it was cool to see Rich Bickle back. Now, is he back permanently? Is he going to run some more races? We don't know. But you know what? I think he misses it, and I don't blame him.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all he knows. I mean, I bet it was hard to sit out this last year or so seeing everybody else have fun and knowing you can still be competitive, because when he walked away from the car, he wasn't slow.
No.
I mean, he was still winning races. He won 2 or 3 the last year of his last season that he ran. So, I mean, welcome back, man. Good to see you. And it's a shame for Rockford, Illinois Speedway. We just say goodbye to you and all your fans. and just hope and pray we don't keep closing racetracks. Yeah. Get out and watch. Stop saying this track sucks or that track sucks on social media. I've been screwed over by racetracks, and I will not get on social media and badmouth the racetrack because it will close. And once it closes in, what are you going to do?
It's never coming back.
No. I mean, especially with as much money as property's worth right now. That's what scares me with Five Flags is all that development around there is worrying me a little bit. But
there's a lot of houses and apartments going up around there.
Yep. So let's just hope and pray we don't, and get out there and watch. Get your butt in the grandstands, eat a hot dog, come out, drink a beer, drink a Coke. Just watch the dadgum races, folks.
Bring
it's
your
not
kids.
hard. Have a good time. I don't understand people go, this fall leader, this sucks, blah, blah, blah. Stop.
Yeah, best entertainment money can buy.
Dang,
I can tell you that.
Short track racing.
We've got to support short track racing and keep these facilities open, and it gives us something to do too. Because if they all started closing, we would have to do something else. And I don't want to really talk about anything else but short track racing. So
that's it.
But the events in the past, the events coming up, we've got a lot to talk about in between. Don't forget November 17th, the Snowball Derby pageant, the Miss Snowball Derby pageant down in historic Pensacola. Get with FiveFlagSpeedway.com and get with their staff and find out more details about that. Don't forget November 18th, the preview, the Crown Stocks 30. It's free to watch, so go out and if you're in the car like Jim, going to practice and get his popcorn probably on the manifold and have it ready before he gets set to watch 30 laps of Crown Stocks go around and have a big time. But that's going to be a big event. We've got more to talk about coming up soon.
Yes, we do.
Always.
Always, man. This stuff never ends.
Yeah.
It's after December, there's some little races here and there, and the next thing you know, we're into February, and they're wide open again.
Yeah,
so
back in Daytona.
Yep. So it's going to be awesome, and we got I think, can we mention our guest we're going to have next week?
We can go ahead and do that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Christian Rose.
Yes.
It'll be his fourth time on with us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our fourth episode with him. He's an ARCA driver. He's third in the ARCA points this year. Nothing but top tens and great races this year. I'm hoping that a big team will pick him up. He's one heck of a wheel man, and we'll be glad to have him back on to talk about his season, how it's going. He got one race left. The possibility of getting a second. He won't get around the love machine, but he could possibly end up second in points. But you know what? If he doesn't, how cool is that to have that guy and him contact us, our little podcast, and wanted to come on here. And thank you, Christian, for keeping up with us, letting us keep up with you, and keep coming on here and allowing us to talk to you about what's going on, because that's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's got a lot of things going on. We tried to get him on earlier, but with all the media and everything coming up with his last event at Toledo, AM Racing has opportunity for a second Xfinity driver next year with Brett Moffitt, and we've got our fingers crossed. Maybe we might hear something next Wednesday with Christian on. But yeah, what an incredible story. You go back to season 1. I think it's episode 17. Racing Has a Rose is the title. Check that out and listen to us and Christian talk about how he got involved. I'm telling you, folks, this just doesn't happen anymore.
It's a cool story.
It is a very cool story. And to be along the ride with him, being able to contact him and communicate with him throughout, I mean, just hours after the event, and he's just been gracious enough to be open, and the door is open as far as the communication goes, and we look forward to hearing what he's got going and how he has progressed up to this point. And third in ARCA Series points behind Perez, he's 24 points behind. I don't know, that something might have to happen, and Christian another top 5 to a secure second, but nonetheless, third. He's run every race, and I believe what they said at the Salem race, that he's run every lap.
Yes.
This year through 18 races, more than anybody in the whole entire field in ARCA Series, which is incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you again, Christian, for coming on with us. And listen to the next episode. It'll be very informative and interesting for sure.
Yeah, and don't forget our shirts and hats are in stock, and I better get them now because we're real close to reordering too. So you can contact us through our Facebook page at Short Track Guys Podcast on Facebook and get with us, and we will accompany that sale for sure.
Yes.
And I'll try to have some at the Derby preview with me out there. So if you want a hat or a shirt, come see me and I'll hook you up.
Well, take care of you.
That's right.
Make you look good.
That's right. They're good looking shirts. Y'all, and also give us a like and a review.
Yes.
Please, Spotify, you can do a 5-star review. Just please put us in your favorites, download us, and share us with your friends. You know, if you say, hey man, you got to listen to these guys. They really talk about short track racing, and they're informative and they're fun, and we enjoy listening to them. So please give us a shout.
Yeah. Short track racing podcasts and racing in general. We just have fun.
That's right. That's
what it's all about. And until next Wednesday, guys, it's always a pleasure to get with you and talk short track racing, and hope our listeners are enjoying it as well. And I guess until next Wednesday, we can sign out with a 1, 2, 3.
Let's go, Brandon. Good night, everybody.
Be strong, America.
Thanks for listening.